Maximum volume.
What needs did the atom, I just play my little louder. Swing the eye like stats and I can't let no hold the louder. I don't feel these rappers, all they lines is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing on here. One word they saying, this shit life work. People Muhammad wanna us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert, never got this stressing it. He a demon, switch the actors to them, watch out blessing it. With that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with her. I'm the opposition, I see vision. Let me take it there. Rappers say they spin, I ain't listening. Is it thinking? If revenge was a woman, now I show that bitch like Jalen. Round war, we gon' run the sucker. It's gon' be historical. But they making plays, make them niggas call it horrible. Can't you run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one needs cooking with the oil. I'm a deal cracking hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, but I be the last nigga standing. Doing like scenes for my niggas, pray you understand it. I might put a switch on the guy and call it young guy. How you real chicken of the guy? You a bird feeder, let me in the season. What's the demon to a cow? Nigga, when he says so, I ain't here. This shit life work out. Who got this gun? It's on who gon' open that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game. Every soldier from the dead. This ain't nothing change for the shots. I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never fight your hand in season. You ain't never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%. I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping small fucker. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around. He ain't with his partner cause he never was. Now my chin like you with that angel for your cover. Everybody wanna be rich and poor. Talk him like Alpo. Play if he want his name in the trunk like we Alpo. A certified rubber ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow stuff. Yeah, this the river court. Feel like Gillis Jack when I'm in stand, do you feel it, boy? Still up on my play still, I think that's all that I the way I get it, boy, loud, they gon' stop, they call it hell now. Fuck it, Jack. Come on over demons like I'm hell, boy. Tale of good and evil. Hey, it was with this man that came nice as well. That's the popo. What you gonna do? Tell me from my radio. I be rocking the hood like they got these in the box movement. Too many blacks at the dollar for the populace to take a shot treatment. How the fuck we getting saved by ass beating and dodge cheating? I be rocking in the hood with the box beating. I love my shorty, she can really take a box beating. You want scrap, let's scrap. I never been box beating. I got urges to sit police calls and switch treason. That's for vodka, lean out like hot bean. Any of the you take that, I'm part of my team. Let's get whiskey, then when I'm tipsy. I found a rare gem that's a daddy bitch of a tipsy. A rare gem, a Brazilian bitch in Alaska. My bitch said she got a Brazilian wax, I asked her. You ain't shed tears for buying and check into the truth, but I'm still in love with the night scene. If you hate Christ, then I know you gon' spite me. I'm past the point where I can't them niggas like me. The white man is the devil, you don't like that, then fight me. This might be tight G, underrated tight G. Why you telling niggas you owe me your ass whooping? With high G, you don't pay niggas like Spike Lee. You try too hard thinking you bringing back the 90s, but it's like me, you be dressing all deadly. They say criminals always return to the crime scene. That's why where her soul used to be. Nightly. Love. These 5 things, they go straight to the soul of man. You know that? Love. They say they knocked them out the box, got them whirling. We got them out in Cali, Texas, Jersey, and Maryland. It's all about promotion and crack. We out in Maryland trying to make a couple dollars with them. All sterling. Yeah, you running games, but you ain't play me though. Cool as Raheem, my trans living on my radio. Just Google on my death game, don't peace in my high school days, like preaching coaches. I'm glad I made it out, we took the trading route. Many things before you showed me you think about. Until the Cali cool, running to the fullest. I never would expect it to you when it took the bullets. I still remember when I got the news, couldn't hold it in. The soldiers go down and they down to be born again. Man, it don't seem like the news, but he was born away. I'm just throwing boxes of bullets if I was calling it in. Got me feeling like you on the roof, walking through a crowd of people saying you got the truth out here. Stay away, calling my girl in the ride early. Knocking me shot the chest like a cat early. Pressure that's on the fold, drugs on the corner, so they do the right thing. But niggas living in Jordan boat, riding every day is high, open road, staying high, straight to the day you vibe, breathing to the day you die. Story of life is good. Bad. It's always fighting.
Hey, Shalom on Christ, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky Monday night history class, and tonight we got a heavy topic. You understand? Only a good slave would want to celebrate his master's holiday. You understand? And that's what we're gonna get into tonight. We're gonna get into July 4th and the history behind it and what it's all about. You understand? With the Declaration of Independence and what it states in there, and see if that all if we can all correlate to that. You understand? Give me that first. Well, hold on a second. Go to. Let's start with. We're going to start with Jeremiah 2:14. Jeremiah 2:14, that's where we're going to start. Because what we have to understand as a people, that July 4th, Independence Day, was not for us. You understand? It's never been for us. We were still in change when America gained its freedom in 1776 from Great Britain. Black people and Hispanic people were still in chains. You understand? So this day has never been for us. It's never been about us. And for the life of me, I can't understand why Black and Hispanics would want to celebrate this day. Because again, just last month, you know what I'm saying? 2 years ago, we found out about Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Just last month, all these niggas happy-go-lucky to celebrate Juneteenth, talking about how it needs to be taught in school now, in history class, and blah blah blah, and you know what I'm saying. You ask a nigga why they want to celebrate Juneteenth. That's when the chains came off. That's when we gained our freedom here in America. And then you ask them, well, why the hell do you celebrate July 4th? We were still in chains then. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got an answer for you. You understand? Really, it's just because happy-go-lucky niggas is just happy and will celebrate anything Master tell them they can celebrate. Right. You understand? That's literally all it is. Master tell you can celebrate, you'll celebrate. Master tell you don't celebrate, you won't celebrate. You know what I'm saying? We good slaves, good slaves for Master. That's really literally all it is. When you get there, go ahead.
Kana. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel what?
Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel what?
Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel still a servant? Go ahead.
Kana. Is he a homeborn slave?
Is he a homeborn slave? You understand? And if you celebrate July 4th, you are definitely a homeborn slave.
Right.
You are definitely still a good slave for Master. Because again, Master tell you celebrate, you'll celebrate. You understand? The Most High gave us a day every week where we can get with the family and do things with the kids and you know what I'm saying, and it's a day every week. You know what I'm saying? The Sabbath, the day of rest. You know what I'm saying? Rest that day. That's one every week. You know what I'm saying? You talk about you want to get together for July 4th because it's a time to get with the family, and we do it for the kids. You destroying your kids.
That's right.
If you talking about you doing it for your kids, you destroying your kids. Your kids will be destroyed because of you, because you're an ignorant ass adult that was destroyed by their parents. and then you just want to keep the cycle going. Read that again from the top.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel a servant? Israel is definitely a servant here in America. Israel is most definitely a servant. Because we don't own nothing. We at the bottom of everything. And we just celebrating things just to be celebrating. We have nothing to celebrate. Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave?
These stepping fetch ass niggas out here definitely a homeborn slave. You understand? Go ahead.
Why is he spoiled?
Why is he spoiled? Why, so you got some old milk in the refrigerator that's spoiled. You know not to drink it. Why are we spoiled here in America? You understand? Because everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, master has to tell you to do it.
Right.
You understand? For Juneteenth, you didn't ask why he was in chains. You know what I'm saying? You just happy to be out of chains. You should have been asking why the hell he was in chains to begin with.
Right.
You understand? 1776, July 4th, you should be asking why you were still in chains, why you had to fight in the American war on the front lines with no guns. You know what I'm saying? And ask why, when the war was over, why you didn't get your freedom then. Because you were still enslaved then. For damn near 100 years, you were still in chains. Because the Emancipation Proclamation did happen in 1865. It's almost 100 years later. You understand? You're not asking the right questions. Of course, you was definitely a homeborn slave.
Right.
You were definitely spoiled in this place. You understand? Master gave you a little handout. You think Master God. You know what I'm saying? You think Master. You need to worship Master and do what Master do.
Right.
You understand? That's also psychology. You know what I'm saying? From looking at white Jesus all your goddamn life. At every black church you've been to, it's a picture of white Jesus in there. Everybody, grandmama got a picture of white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at white people, you think of white Jesus. And you think, because Master do what you got to do.
Right.
Man, well, Master knew he had to go to war in 1776 with Great Britain to gain freedom. Because Britain was taxing the shit out there for Slovakia, taxing them for everything. They feel like they was oppressed, and then they needed to get out from under that oppression from Great Britain. And they knew they had to go to war. But what they teach you homeborn slave, they teach you, you got to march. You got to vote. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We came a long way, but we still got a ways to go. That's what they tell you. You get traitors like Martin Luther King trying to want you to integrate with the same oppressor that's been oppressing you for the last 600 years.
Right.
And I say 600 because the Native American Indians, the First Nation people. You understand? Because they're Israelites too. So when we say black, I'm also talking about my Hispanic and First Nation people. You understand? Drop that. Go to Proverbs 31. 3 and 31, slightly. Proverbs 3 and 31. Because what we have to understand as a people that just because Master tell you can celebrate something doesn't mean it's okay for you or good or even good for you to go celebrate that. You understand? Because again, in 1776, your black ass was still in chains.
That's right.
While America was fighting and killing Britain, you know what I'm saying, for their freedom. But yet your black behind was still enslaved, still in chains. And you putting on that red, white, and blue, wearing the American flag, sisters dyeing their hair red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? And just going all in for. How many brothers and sisters lose a finger every year because of these damn fireworks? You know what I'm saying? You willing to go risk your limbs to go shoot off some stinking fireworks on July 4th? You know what I'm saying? And when your ignorant tail doesn't know, you can shoot off fireworks whenever you want to.
That's right.
You don't have to wait till July 4th to do that. You understand? But we want to do what our oppressor do. We want to be like our oppressor. That's why we still at the goddamn bottom of everything. That's why you had to say, go support black business. You understand? Before integration, we had our own businesses and we had no choice but to support our own.
Right.
But now you got to say, hey, go support black people. Go. You know what I'm saying? All your anger, you know what I'm saying? You so willing and so ready to forgive the oppressor for everything, but you don't have that same forgiveness for your brother that's right there next to you, living in poverty, that has nothing, just like you have nothing. Right. But yet you're willing to go give the oppressor all your apologies and forgive them for everything, but you won't forgive your goddamn brother that's sitting right next to you.
That's right.
You understand? Because everybody want to be like a goddamn oppressor. Everybody want to be like Master. You understand? When you get there, go ahead. Proverbs 3 and 31.
Kind of time.
Appreciate it.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31.
I appreciate
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
it. Read that again from the top.
Kind of time. Proverbs 3, verse 31.
She's alright. She's alright.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Envy not that oppressor. You understand? And choose none of his ways. Now that word envy, you know what the envy means?
Kind of kind.
What's envy mean?
So like if I may, sir, envy means let me get it right. Envy is like having like a complex, having something against somebody. More so
Not necessarily having it against somebody, but you know what I'm saying? It's more so wanting what they got. You understand? The exact definition is that feeling the for longing aroused by someone else, possessions, quality. You understand? So basically, you want what somebody else got. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to get your own. You know what I'm saying? That's what envy is. Envy means like you're jealous of that person because they got this. You understand? And that's exactly what we shouldn't want from the oppressor. We read that again from the top.
Proverbs 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not. Nah, it really means you're supposed to be like your oppressor. You want to do everything your oppressor do.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. That means goddamn the white man, woman, and stank child. I mean, damn them all.
Right.
They can all drop dead for all I give a damn.
That's right.
You understand? Don't care nothing about them. I want my people to get out of slavery. And if that means all them devils gotta drop dead for my people to get out of slavery, hey, so be it.
That's right.
Read that again from the top.
Proverbs 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And that really meant choose all his ways.
Choose none of his ways.
Man, they're telling you to be just like the oppressor and do everything the oppressor do.
Choose none of his ways.
Man, if on July 4th, if the oppressor go shoot fireworks, that means you go shoot fireworks.
Choose none of his
If
ways.
he pull out the grill, that means you pull out your grill.
Choose none of his ways.
Choose none of his ways, Israel. That's exactly what they're saying. Envy not the oppressor, and don't choose none of his ways. Why would you want to be like this thinking oppressor anyway?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Who gave this this oppressor the right mind to where he chooses everything that's righteous and moral and things like that? Who gave that oppressor that much? You know what I'm saying? Gave him that much credit. Who gave this oppressor all this goddamn credit to where now everybody want to be like the oppressor?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to work for this moving company, and anytime we went into an oppressor house, their whole house stank. Got dog hair, cat hair everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, who said that was the way to be? Who gave them all this credit to where now everybody just want to be like the oppressor? Read that again from the top.
Proverbs 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Don't want to be like the oppressor. Don't choose to be like the oppressor.
Right.
Go ahead. Because, as a matter of fact, it was an oppressor today. It was an oppressor that went into their grocery store a couple months ago and shot up all the black people. That was the oppressor.
That's right.
Matter of fact, just today it was an oppressor in Chicago that shot at the July 4th parade. I think it was like shot 5 people and wounded about 15, 16 others. That was an oppressor that did that. You understand? So who gave this oppressor all this moral compass and that everything should be like the oppressor? Who gave them all that credit? In fact, you got the oppressors. They be the ones that have incest with the kids and with the brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That's all oppressors. They eating anything and everything. Doesn't matter how nasty or disgusting it is. Who said that was the righteous compass? Who said that they was morally correct to where now everybody should be like them?
Right.
These same people is the one that came into America, killed 77 million Hispanics, Native American, and enslaved about another 4 million.
Right.
And took them in slave ships over across to Great Britain and England and places like that. This same oppressor is the one that made all the conflict with Mexico, so they can go into Mexico and steal Mexico land. You understand? And wage war with Mexico, so they can steal their land.
Right.
These are the same people that took our ancestors on the bottom of slave ships, piled them on top of one another. Most of them didn't even make it over here because the living conditions were so disgusting and vile that a lot of people died before they could even make it over here. You understand? So who gave them the moral compass that everybody should want to be and do what they do? Who said that their long, stringy, blonde hair was look good?
Right.
And then them heifers shed more than dogs do.
That's right.
Who said that was the way to be? I see niggas walking around with blonde, blue contacts in their eyes. Who said blue contacts? Who said blue eyes was the thing? Who made that? Who made that the righteous and moral compass? Blonde hair and blue eyes. Who said that was pretty? I'm curious. I don't get that. Who even said that was attractive?
Right.
You know what I'm saying, you laying your head on my shoulder, I shouldn't have to do like this to get your shed hair off me like I would a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like if you laying on your head on my pillow, I shouldn't have to scrape all your hair off my goddamn pillow.
That's right.
You understand? Y'all shed more than dogs shed, but somehow that became the moral compass. That became the beauty standard here in America. Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his disgusting ass ways. So,
Right.
Give me that first article, or that second article I sent you, the one on the Declaration of Independence. We're gonna read some of that. Say the Declaration of Independence, key facts. Yeah.
The Declaration of Independence, key facts. The Declaration of Independence was approved by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776.
Now again, Israel, July 4th, 1776. That's almost 100 years before 1865, June 19th, 1865, when the Emancipation Proclamation hit Texas and so-called freed the slaves. That's almost 100 years before. Go ahead.
The document announced the separation of 13 North American British colonies from Great Britain. It was the last of a series of steps that led the colonies to final separation from Great Britain. At the time that the American Revolution began in April 1775, most colonists were not seeking independence. Most of them wanted only a larger measure of self-government within the British Empire.
Right, they wanted to be able to govern themselves. They didn't want all them high taxes and having a whole other country tell them what they can and can't do. Go ahead.
But as the war continued, many colonists began to favor freedom from British rule.
They began what? Favoring what?
Began to favor freedom from British rule.
They began to favor freedom from British rule. And they know to get that freedom, they had to go to war. They weren't going to be able to vote their way out of it. They weren't going to be able to march their way out of it. They weren't going to be able to form a Black Lives Matter and stop highways because, you know what I'm saying, that's what it takes to get your voice heard. No, they went to war. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here telling you to pick up your arms and go to war with white America, because that would be dumb.
Right.
Our warfare is not carnal. it's a spiritual warfare.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? This is not a carnal warfare. This is not a warfare. You're gonna be able to pick up your arm and just go defend yourself and win a war against America. It's not gonna happen, black man.
Right.
You understand? It's just not gonna happen. This is a spiritual warfare that we have. It's not a carnal one. Go ahead.
Time. Britain sent more troops and ships. More colonists died in skirmishes and battles. The war brought economic disruptions as well.
Man, yeah. Great Britain came over here and burnt down the first White House in Philadelphia. You understand? They came over here, you know what I'm saying, caused terror. Matter of fact, the first person to die in the American War was a black man, Crispus Attucks. Look that up. You can Google that. First man to die in that war was a black man. So you don't none of you crackers or oppressors ever come up to any black person and ask them about their patriotism, ask them that they love their country. We've loved it we've loved this stinking country for so long, and this country has never loved us back. You understand? We've been slaves over here in this country. We fought in every war. We bled. We've done everything for this stinking country, and we've only been looked at as third-class citizens.
Right.
We've been slaves for this country. That's it. Go ahead. So
Right.
don't come and ask me why I don't celebrate no July 4th, because I ain't no homeborn slave.
Right.
I'm not a homeboy slave. I'm not spoiled. I know the difference. I'm not ignorant to the fact. I know the difference. And we taught here in I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, we free men over here.
That's
we
right.
don't celebrate that bull, that nonsense. You understand that? We free men over here. We ain't homeborn slaves. We ain't spoiled. Go ahead.
Right. In January 1776, Thomas Paine published a pamphlet, Common Sense. It pointed out how the colonists were being mistreated by the king. Many copies of the pamphlet were sold in support of for independence group. The colonists hoped to receive aid from France, a longtime enemy of Britain. To do so, the colonists would have to make a formal break from their mother country. The Declaration helped in the process. On June 7th, Richard Henry Lee, a Virginian, asked the Continental Congress in Philadelphia to consider declaring independence from Great Britain. The Congress appointed a committee of 5 to write the formal declaration. Thomas Jefferson wrote the first draft. A few changes were suggested by other members of the committee: John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston. In writing the Declaration, Jefferson drew heavily on the political theories that English philosophers John Locke had outlined in his book on civil government. Jefferson began the document by proclaiming a set of natural rights held by all and the responsibility of the government to protect those rights.
Now again, let's talk about natural rights held by all. And now when they're saying all right here, it's not talking about all people.
Right.
It's talking about all white people.
Right.
Because again, in 1776, when all this is being written, and they saying these words like all and responsibilities of government and protect those rights weren't for black and Hispanic people. Those rights wasn't for us.
Right.
Because we were still in chains. We were still enslaved. Matter of fact, they would hang slaves in celebration of July 4th. They would hang and beat and hang slaves for a celebration of July 4th. So when it's talking about all, that's not talking about everybody. That's talking about white America. And everybody knows it's two different Americas. It's a white America, then it's a dark America.
Right.
You understand? And then all, that's talking about all white people. That's not talking about all people in general. And that's what niggas got to get in their mindset. That they think the word all, it doesn't necessarily always mean all people. Even though black people want to make it all people. We supposed to forgive the enemy. Well, if you could forgive Massa for 400 years of slavery, why you can't forgive your brother that's right next door to you?
Hello.
That's in the same goddamn slavery that you're in. You ready to shoot him in the head. You ready to kill him, but you want to forgive your oppressor for over 400 years of oppression.
Right.
That don't make no goddamn sense. Go ahead.
He then cited
He then cited specific ways in which King George III.
He then cited specific ways in which King George III had violated the colonists' rights, which formed their justification for seeking independence. The Declaration of Independence states 3 basic ideas.
Now, the Declaration of Independence states 3 basic ideas. Go ahead.
One, God made all men equal and gave them the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I'm going to stop right there for a second. The Declaration of Independence states 3 basic ideas. That God made all men equal and gave them right to life. You understand? Now, again, when they say all, this Declaration of Independence, you know, is not talking about black people. Because again, for almost another 100 years, we were still in chains.
Right.
We were still in cattle slavery, cattle chain slavery. We were still in chains. So if they're saying that God made all men equal, then why was we still in the goddamn chains? But white America was willing to go to war with Great Britain to gain their right to freedom.
Right.
And seeking their independence. So if they seeking their independence from Great Britain, but still got you in some goddamn chains, how is that all men equal? We was considered property. Do you know what we considered in the Constitution?
So like I said, I know, like, yeah, we was considered property because I want to say that's kind of like where insurance extended from.
We were considered 3/5 of a human. We weren't even considered a whole human.
Right.
We weren't even considered a whole human. But yet, y'all look at this Declaration of Independence and say all men are equal. Well, who was all men? Because we were still in chains.
That's right.
We were still in slavery. We were still getting beat. And we were still dying at the hands of the oppressor. But it said we all had a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Well, what kind of pursuit of happiness can you get with some goddamn chains on your hands and legs, living in slavery? Gotta work for free for the oppressor. What type of pursuit of happiness can you get working for free, and living at the bottom, having nothing? What kind of pursuit of happiness is you living for? Go ahead.
And the pursuit of happiness. Number 2, the main business of government is to protect these rights.
And the main business of government is to protect them rights. And they do protect them rights for white America. The rights is definitely protected for white America. But if you're not a white American, then you don't get that same protection under the law. You don't get that same protection by the government. You understand? Because when 10 black people got shot in that grocery store, President didn't give us an anti-hate crime bill, didn't give us nothing like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? All he had to say was, I'm sorry, and, you know what I'm saying? Talk about stricter gun laws.
Right.
Go ahead.
Number 3, if the government tries to withhold these rights, the people are free to revolt to set up a new government.
Now, if the government tries to withhold these rights, which they withheld from us since America has been created, these rights have been held from blacks and Hispanics and First Nation people. It say then the people are free to revolt and set up a new government. So now, like you said, when the 10 black people got shot by the white supremacists in Buffalo, New York, now they want to keep talking about gun laws and restricted gun laws and whatnot. So if black people can't even get a gun, how the hell you supposed to revolt?
Right.
Revolt means to like a revolution. Revolt it means to overturn the current systems of power. That's what revolt means. So how can you overturn the current system of power when they got all the gun power and you got nothing?
Right.
You got straight gun. You can't even get a goddamn gun. But yet they got all the guns. So how you supposed to revolt? How you supposed to overthrow that? They talking about taking your gun, taking guns and whatnot.
Right.
You understand? Well, how are you supposed to overthrow anything if you can't have the means to protect and overthrow? And you steady forgiving the oppressor. You understand? Like anytime you celebrate the oppressor holiday, you throw any type of revolt any type of fight or any type of revolt you have in you out the goddamn window.
Right.
How you supposed to be revolting, but you celebrating the oppressor day? That don't make no damn sense. Go ahead.
The Americans leveled charges specifically against the person of the king.
Well, really, you can drop that one because that's really all I wanted to get out of that article was the three basic things right here. The Declaration of Independence is supposed to be about is God make all men equal, but we know that's not a goddamn truth.
Right.
Because we were slaves when this was written. You know what I'm saying? And gave them the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We know that's also not true because we were still slaves when this was written.
Right.
You understand? We also know that the main business of the government is not to protect these rights, at least not for blacks and Hispanics or the First Nation people. They don't. The government don't protect none of our rights.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But the white people, they definitely protect them. And then number three, if the government tries to withhold these rights, the people are free to revolt and set up a new government, which they trying to take that right away too. You know what I'm saying? Especially for blacks and Hispanics, because they make it so hard for blacks and Hispanics to get guns any goddamn way.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, drop that and give me the other one. More, if I may, sir. July 8th was the original Independence Day. The oppressor chose the date of the 4th of July for the mimic Babylon. Ancient Babylon had a holiday on July 4th. This Midsummer Eve. Oh shit! Hey, that's a good point, Howard Moore. I can't even read it no more. This is ragged song. That's a good point, Howard Moore. And you are correct. Because America is Babylon. You know what I'm saying? And if I may, Howard Moore, this whole place got to burn just like Babylon burned down. This whole place got to go. Right. Because it's not set up for blacks and Hispanics or First Nation people. You understand? Especially with the Declaration of Independence, none of that was set up for us because we was in chains on that when that was written.
Right.
We had no rights when that was written. We considered 3/5 of a human when that was written. So this whole goddamn place got to burn. Howard Moore, give me a hand for that. But you're right, Howard Moore. This whole goddamn place got to burn, just like Babylon did. Go ahead.
History of Independence Day. The Torch of Freedom. The second day of July, 1776 will be the most memorable departure in the history of America. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as a great anniversary festival. It ought to be commemorated as the day of deliverance of so many acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shoes and games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore. You would think me transported with enthusiasm, but I am not. I am well aware of the toil and blood and treasure that it would cost us.
If I could real quick, this is black folks and Hispanics celebrating July 4th is the exact definition of Stockholm Syndrome. You know what I'm saying? With Stockholm Syndrome, blacks and Hispanics suffer from that theory. You understand? You know what Stockholm Syndrome is? What is that?
No matter what our oppressor does to us, we still find a way to love them.
I'll take that. The exact definition of Stockholm Syndrome is a feeling of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim towards a captor. And that's exactly how what they say. We homeborn slaves. Why are we spoiled? That's exactly why we spoiled, because we still look at this oppressor like you know what I'm saying? Because we got that picture of white Jesus. We look at that picture like that's white Jesus. Like that's God right there. We got to do what they tell us. You know what I'm saying? Black folks hate everything about slavery except for Christianity. You You understand? And we was given Christianity in slavery.
Right.
The irony of that right there, you know what I'm saying? That's Stockholm syndrome to the T. Because we greatly suffer from that. Because it doesn't matter what the oppressor do. We talk about we want to forgive them and we got to love them and forgive them and whatnot. But let your brother do something. Let your brother step on your shoe, on your Jordan. You ready to kill him?
Right.
Why your brother that's in that same hell and oppression that you suffering through? Why does he not get that same benefit of the doubt that you want to get the oppressor that's been oppressing us for 400 years? You understand? Your brother step on your Jordans or your Nikes in the club, you ready to shoot him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The sister tell you no because you trying to holler at her. She tell you no, now she a bitch and this and that. You know what I'm saying? But yet your brother and your sister don't get that same type of affection or the same type of benefit of the doubt that you want to get the oppressor. That's Stockholm syndrome to the T.
Right.
Like straight up and down. Go ahead.
Kind of
So I just had to get that out.
Us to maintain this declaration and support and defend these states. Yet through all the gloom, I can see the rays of ravishing light and glory. I can see that the end is more than worth all the means, and that posterity will triumph in that day's transaction, even although we should rue it, which I trust in God we should not. John Adams, July 3rd, 1776. This quote is an excerpt from John Adams' letter to his wife Abigail on July 3rd, 1776. The emotions of this short writing, of this short-witted founding father, speak of the momentous occasion. Adams believed that July 2nd, 1776 will be the date to mark the celebrate forever our Declaration of Independence. Although the official date comes later, Americans have celebrated their country's birth date and have followed Adams' advice ever since. Adams bore witness to and was part of the American dream for freedom. He was an example of how the new nation would carry on after the war by becoming our first vice president and our second president. Adams' eloquent words put the historical significance of American independence and the consequences for failure if it was not achieved into focus. Although the Second Continental Congress made its decree for freedom on July 2nd, 1776, no one signed the Declaration of Independence. Congress did sign the Lee Resolution, named for the Virginian Richard Henry Lee, on July 2nd. This resolution contained 3 parts: separation from the British Crown,
Separation from the British Crown, go ahead.
a call to freedom, foreign alliances, and a plan for confederation.
And none of that did it say anything about freeing slaves or black people is equal to everybody and deserve these same freedoms. No, it's all for white America. You understand? This day is for the white oppressor. This day has nothing to do with black people. Because
Right.
again, last month we were so happy for June 19th and celebrating June 19th, talking about it should be taught in schools and we should be happy because the chains came off, and we celebrate because the chains came off, and we now got our freedom. This is damn near, again, 100 years after July 4th, 1776, when America gained its freedom from from Great Britain. So you telling me you weren't here in 1776? Yeah, you was here. You was here. You was just in chains. You was in chains in 1776. Go ahead.
Congress formally adopted the Declaration of Independence 2 days later, July 4th, 1776, and the alarm for freedom was sounded at Independence Hall with the Liberty Bell.
That Liberty Bell, it rang for the freedom of the oppressor, not the oppressed. black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, we was all oppressed during this time. And we stayed oppressed, and we still oppressed till this day. So what the hell are we celebrating? What the hell do you want to get out there and shoot off some damn fireworks and it's got nothing to do with the freedom of black people? We still oppressed till this day. What the hell we celebrating? Go ahead.
Americans rejoiced as word spread throughout the newly declared independent states. Although independence had been declared, delegates of the Continental Congress had not yet inked their signatures onto the document. On August 2nd, 1776, when most delegates signed the Declaration of Independence, it became official. Unfortunately, Americans were getting...
That should just let you know right now, black man, Hispanic man, and woman, and child, that should let you know that you're not American. You're not considered American or nothing. Because again, when America gained its freedom, and this Declaration of Independence was signed for the freedom of Americans, you wasn't in that freedom. You didn't get that freedom. You were still in chains. So that should let you know that you're not American. They don't even consider you to be American. They could give a damn about you. Go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, although independence had been declared, delegates of the Continental Congress had not yet linked their signatures onto the document. On August 2nd, 1776, when most delegates signed the Declaration of Independence, it became official. Unfortunately, Americans were getting good and bad news at the same time. British troops were making landfall in New York as the Liberty Bell rang in Philadelphia. At that point, American and British forces already had been engaging in armed conflict for 15 months. On July 9th, 1776, General George Washington, while concentrating troops in New York City, ordered the Declaration of Independence read aloud to his men. He hoped that they would find new meaning in the war for independence. In 1777, the British occupied the capital city of Philadelphia while Washington and his men struggled through a brutal winter at Valley Ford, Pennsylvania. Nearly 2,000 of Washington's 12,000 men died during that winter encampment. The Continental Army was hardened by the experience and gained even greater resolve in the campaign to defeat the British. For the next 4 years, Americans will fight battle after battle against the mightiest military on earth. Thanks to the military leadership of Washington and the combined efforts of the French Navy and Washington's good friend and the ally General Marquis de Lafayette, the British surrendered after the siege of Yorktown on October 19, 1781. The fight for independence was over. The Treaty of Paris, signed between the United States and Great Britain on September 3, 1783, made it official. The United States had become a sovereign and independent nation after 6 years of valor and sacrifice. The struggle to keep the torch of freedom lit to this day can be seen as one walks through National Mall and Memorial Park. Since the Revolutionary War, the United States has fought many wars to defend freedom. All have come at a terrible cost. Freedom rings as loudly today as it did at Independence Hall in Philadelphia on July 4, 1776. Thanks to our determination as a nation and a people, this park is home to the memory of our nation's past, and we celebrate what Americans have achieved since the days of our founders. It is here that we have honored the sacrifice.
Honor the sacrifice.
It is here that we honor the sacrifice of those lost in defense of freedom. When one visits the World War II Memorial, one finds the words, "Here we mark the price of freedom," engraved in front of the wall of 4,048 gold stars. Each star represents 100 Americans lost during the war. At the Korean War Veterans Memorial, one finds the words, "Freedom is not free." And at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, one finds the names of 58,000.
That's like it. Let me go back. Freedom is not free. That's one thing white Americans know. Freedom is not free. Because they definitely went to war with Great Britain, gained up freedom. You understand? But here, blacks and Hispanics think that if we just go vote, we march and we just beg the oppressor to give us a bone, then we could also gain our freedom as well. You understand? And that's not how it works. You understand? That's not how it works. Begging your oppressor to be a part of the society and be a part of them. That's not what America did with Great Britain.
Right.
America went to war. America knew they had to go to war to gain their freedom from Great Britain. But for some reason, they tricked us and told us all we got to do is vote.
Right.
All we got to do is march and vote, and you know what I'm saying, and be good citizens, and we can get them same freedoms.
Right.
When it's been shown to us time and time and time again that is just not true. But yet every year we still celebrate July 4th. We still celebrate every one of these holidays that Master tells us we can celebrate. But we don't do nothing that the Most High tells us to do. We don't celebrate none of the high holy days or the days that the Most High tells us to celebrate. We want to celebrate what the Master do. Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways.
Right.
Go ahead.
And at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, one finds the names of 58,261 lives honored for their courage, sacrifice, and devotion to duty and country. Abraham Lincoln is draped in the stars and stripes at the Lincoln Memorial. Not only did he preserve our flag during the American Civil War, his policies helped end slavery. 620,000 Americans, North and South, were lost during the most costly.
Let me stop you right there too. Talking about Lincoln's what help do what to slavery? Lincoln's policy help end slavery. When that's a goddamn lie in itself. Because Lincoln, out of his own mouth, said that if he could save the Union and not free any slaves, he would do that.
Right.
But the North couldn't compete. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't compete with paying their workers with the free labor that the South was getting through their slaves. You understand? So again, that's a damn lie by itself. Because Lincoln said he wouldn't have freed none of the slaves if he could save the Union.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. This message becomes clear as visitors experience these memorials. Freedom has come at a great cost. And
again, even when Lincoln was brought out the Emancipation Proclamation, again, that's also about almost 100 years after America gained its freedom from Great Britain.
Right.
And again, if Lincoln could have saved the Union without freeing any slaves, he would have done that. And we would still be slaves today.
Right.
I take that back, we are still slaves today. You understand? Working for minimum wage, I mean, what is that? That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Yeah, you got some black people that are millionaires and stuff like that, but at every plantation they had house niggas.
Right.
Go ahead.
As we celebrate our nation's birthday, the National Park Service will probably carry on the words of John Adams, bonfires and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore.
Well, not a lot, because a lot of the parades have been canceled because of that mass shooting that happened in Chicago today, where that oppressor shot up the parade down there. You understand? So a lot of this stuff has been getting canceled. You understand? I seen a video earlier on Facebook where like a whole tornado going through Myrtle Beach. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these festivities, the Most High is canceling a lot of these.
Right.
You ahead.
Okay. Bonfires and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore, with a brilliant firework display. These illuminations will light up the sky of our nation's capital to inspire and remind us how fortunate we are to have the freedom that has been entrusted to us all. The signers of the Declaration. The Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4, 1776. Most of the delegates to the Second Continental Congress signed the document on August 2, 1776. By putting their names on this paper, these men risked losing everything. If the British won the American Revolution, even though the Americans won, some of these men suffered severely by supporting independence. You can find out more information about the signers and the memorial to them within Constitutional Gardens. It is closed during the 4th due to being in the safety zone for the fireworks.
Alright, you can go ahead and drop that. Now, give me Amos 5 and 21. You know this one. Amos 5 and 21. For any one of these oppressors holidays that or the oppressor tell us we could celebrate, or you know what I'm saying, birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, any of these holidays, this precept right here is talking about that, because the Most High hate every one of them holidays. You know what I'm saying? I know Pastor Porchard done taught us our whole life that God is all love, and God loves everything, everybody, and everyone, and blah, blah, blah. You understand? But that's because Pastor Porchard doesn't read the Bible. Pastor Porchard doesn't know any goddamn thing.
That's right.
You understand? The Most High do hate. And July 4th, the Most High definitely hates July 4th. You understand? You out here celebrating July 4th, but you don't celebrate none of the high holy days that the Most High told you to celebrate.
Right.
The Most High gave you high holy days. They gave you days to celebrate. You don't want to celebrate none of them days, but you ready to celebrate the oppressor's holiday, the day the oppressor got freedom and your ass was still in chains.
Right.
You ready to celebrate that every goddamn year, but you don't ever want to celebrate a Passover. You don't ever want to celebrate a feast of unleavened bread, feast of first fruits. You know what I'm saying? The feast days that the Most High, that the Lord told you to celebrate. You don't want to do none of that, but you ready to go get them fireworks and put that nasty pork, all the unlawful meats on the grill and grill it up and pray over it like that's going to make a damn difference, because the Most High told you don't eat none of that nonsense any damn way. Go ahead, when you get to it.
Amos chapter 5 verse 21.
Go ahead.
I hate.
What?
I hate.
The Most High loves July 4th because he loves seeing them fireworks.
I hate.
I hate. The Most High hates. Go ahead.
I despise your feast days.
The Most High even despises your feast days. He hates and despises your feast days. And they your feast days for a reason, because the Most High didn't tell you to do them, celebrate them days. The Most High gave you specific days you are supposed to celebrate.
Right.
He hates and despises your feast days because these are your feast days. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. Go ahead.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. Though you offer me burnt offerings.
I know you put all that nasty burnt meat on the grill, you know what I'm saying? And all them unlawful meats on the grill. Go ahead.
And your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
Most High ain't accepting that. Most High ain't accepting none of that. Because one, it's unlawful meats that you put on that grill. And for two, this is not a feast day that he told you to celebrate.
Right.
So he hates and despises your feast day. Go ahead.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
He don't care about none of that. Most High hates and despises your feast day. Ain't smelling none of that nonsense you putting on your grill. Doesn't care about none of that. Go ahead, drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression.
Surely. Maybe.
Surely oppression.
Possibly.
Surely oppression.
It could happen.
Surely oppression.
Surely oppression. What? Go ahead.
Maketh a wise man mad.
Make a wise man mad. If you ain't out here pissed off at even the celebration of July 4th in your goddamn face, when you didn't get freedom on July 4th, 1776, your ass was still in chains. If that doesn't piss you off, then you need to wise up, young man. You need to get some wisdom in you. Because go ahead, read that again from the top. The Most High says,
surely
that oppression.
Oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Surely that oppression will make you mad. You understand? Surely oppression, not maybe, not possibly, not could happen. Surely oppression maketh you mad. You understand? And since Israel is homeborn slaves, we don't even know that we still oppressed. We want to act like we still not oppressed. We want to act like we still not slaves. Why are we spoiled? Go ahead.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
And a gift destroyeth the heart. The oppressor tell you, you're free, you're American, you're free, you should celebrate this day. You understand? It destroy your heart. You understand? So that you don't even know you should be pissed off because you think that I'm free. I can do what I want. Oppressor tell me I can celebrate this day, I'm gonna celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm American. When the Declaration of Independence was written, when the Constitution was written, your ass was still in slavery.
Right. You
were still in slavery, black man, Hispanic man, woman, and child. We were still enslaved. It didn't regard to young or old. Old men or old men and old women was out there in the fields. Young babies was out there in the fields. If they could pick cotton, they was out there. You understand? But you talking about I'm American. I'm gonna shoot these fireworks. I'm gonna do it for the kids. And you destroying your goddamn kids. Go ahead.
So like I say, when we go to verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
Count. Verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. You understand? Go ahead.
Count. And the patient in the spirit is better than the proud in the spirit.
You understand? The patient in the spirit. The patient in the spirit is that you being pissed off that you're being oppressed. You understand? It's better than the proud in the spirit. Calling yourself American, thinking that you're American and that you're free and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence is for you. That's that pride. That's that pride in the spirit. You understand? And that gift is what destroys your heart. That pride destroys your heart. You understand? And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Troopers about.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out at 1 West 121st Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a peculiar person, select. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a peculiar person, particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which means a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. means tenth in Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to general, Mayat, Ga'ala, or teaching, priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Courtesy salute to the officer. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakathon.
How about some outside work?
Class dismissed.